The following podcast is a presentation of Project Entertainment Network.
And good morning, critics, and welcome to the 12th episode of the Recreational Critics Podcast of the Project Entertainment Network, where we review streaming service films for unqualified opinions. I'm your host, Jason, with my co-host...
Jimbo.
Nope, that's not it. Start over.
No.
Co-host?
Jimbo.
All right. Well, my new co-host, Jimbo... No, it's James, but he wants to go by Jimbo today.
Yep.
Can I call you
It's a Jimbo kind of day.
Can I call you Jimothy?
No.
Okay, Jimbo. Well, welcome, Jimbo. This week we're gonna go over the movie ARQ, a movie you probably never heard of, and for good reason. But before we do, me and Jimbo are gonna banter about nonsense. So if you like to skip ahead, there will be timestamps in the description below. Right now, weekly recap. What'd you do this week?
Thought about calling myself Jimbo for this podcast. That's been like the whole thing's been built in anticipation.
Yeah, but you like look in the mirror like, it's Jimbo.
Yeah, today's a Jimbo kind of day.
Your name is Toby. But
not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Did go back to work a little bit this week.
Yeah, same here.
Started a project in my backyard.
What'd you do?
Just trying to regrade some stuff. Try to get the water to flow correctly.
Grading sucks.
It is awful.
And we had that problem
Dirt
here.
is heavy.
Yeah. And it's just annoying. You don't want to do it because you're like, oh, this will be a cake. And then you start it and you're like, this sucks.
I bought a wheelbarrow and I
go.
broke a wheelbarrow in the same day.
Was it the one that you bought?
Yes.
How'd you break it?
It's not built to the highest standards.
Gotcha. Was it a cheapo one?
Yeah, it was like $40.
Walmart?
Basically, no, it was Lowe's.
Oh.
Treating it as a rental.
That's how much a rental costs, so
Yep.
fuck it, right? I damn near shaved my head.
Yeah,
as
you
you
did.
see. So our job requires hair regulations, and there's no one to cut your hair, and I
Yeah.
got desperate, and so the hair was gone.
You could have let Naomi just take a stab at it.
Well, her mother is actually the one that did it,
Okay.
and she said it's a 1/4 inch,
Yeah.
and I don't know, is it 1/4 inch? I felt like in my head 1/4 inch was longer.
No, that's probably a 1/4 inch.
Yeah, I should have went like inch or something.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Get what you asked for.
Here we are.
Here we aren't.
Here we aren't. It'll grow back.
Oh yeah.
Gives a shit?
Yours might.
Mine will.
Yes.
Yours won't.
Correct.
But I hate taking jabs at your hair.
Yeah.
I know it's self-conscious about it.
It's okay.
Yeah. If we start doing a video podcast, are you gonna wear hats?
No.
Oh, good. Embrace it.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
I'm just gonna get super yoked up like Jeff Bezos.
What? Did you get yoked up or something?
Yeah. If you see the earlier pictures of him, he's just like a smaller, like nerdy looking dude.
Really?
Yeah. And if you see pictures of him now, he's pretty jacked.
Oh, why? When you're the richest man in the world, legally, you
can have
get
bionic
buff.
muscles implanted.
Exactly. Who gives a fuck? I haven't given you yours yet. It's in my car. Before you leave, I'll hand it to you.
Did you give me a Mother's Day present?
No.
Oh.
I sent you a picture of what we got from our good buddy Ray.
Oh yeah.
He listens to the podcast on a pretty regular basis, and so he 3D printed us ID holders for work.
Very nice.
And I like them a lot.
They do look good.
Yeah. So I got yours in the car. So shout out to Ray for that. I think he takes orders for his 3D printer. That's how he made them. And so I'm going to get with him and find out his link and put it down in the description below if people want a 3D print design or whatever they want. So
maybe he could make a bunch of Recreational Critics ones for anybody that wants one.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a really cool guy. So shout out to him for that. Besides that, I have nothing else for the week. Do you?
I don't either.
All right, so let's get into news. Where are we at in the timestamp? 4 minutes. I don't want to forget. So, remember that movie New Mutants?
Yeah.
That
we talked about it a few weeks ago.
Should have came out like 5 years ago. They never did, and then Disney bought Fox, and now they're debating on even releasing it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they put it on pre-order on video on demand.
Oh.
Because no movie theaters, and people already pre-ordered it. Because they wanted to see the next X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Or spinoff. And Disney went, oh, we made a mistake. We actually are releasing it to the theaters. So, a little bit of a debacle there. Mostly because they know if they do video on demand and theaters, the AMC shit would come back. And they want to get their movie in theaters. So they reneged essentially on their plan to video on demand it.
I just don't understand how they can't figure this out.
Yeah. They're Disney. Even then, it's a loss for them. They don't care.
Yeah.
So here we are. New Mutants is the movie I don't care about, but I'll probably go see it if it's in theaters, only because I get free tickets to the theater.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't care for the X-Men movies. I haven't seen Dark Phoenix yet.
I have only seen clips.
Yeah, I'm not wasting my time.
Yeah.
I saw the train clip.
Yes.
That's all I saw.
I didn't see the one before that either, Apocalypse.
I saw Apocalypse because I was excited for it. Because I didn't think you could ruin Apocalypse. As a comic book fan, do you know anything about Apocalypse in the comics?
No.
He's crazy. He's awesome. I mean,
I've seen pictures of Apocalypse
Right.
in the comics.
Yep.
And I've seen cosplay.
Yep.
That is very high quality.
Exactly.
And then I saw Apocalypse in the movie.
Yep.
And that was
not
good.
Right, because he's Egyptian,
Yes.
right? And he's a mutant. They say he's the first mutant, but he's really not. There's somebody else. But anyway, he's a mutant, and he finds technology left behind by the Celestials. And so he uses mutant powers and technology to become what he was, basically, which was every power, and then bestow powers on other people, which is what they tried in the Apocalypse movie.
Yeah.
And they just... It's Oscar Isaacs, but they didn't CGI him at all to make him look like how the guy looks, a big buff monster.
Yeah.
They just use 5'9".
Low effort.
Right. They painted him blue.
Yes.
And it looked terrible.
It did.
I don't want to talk about X-Men anymore. I hate X-Men. So I'm good to move on if you are. Coronavirus take 2.
Oh, God.
States are reopening. Texas has been reporting a lot more cases. I think over 1,000.
Yes.
In less than a week after reopening.
It happens.
Here we are.
Even Kansas, where we're from, is seeing a very large spike.
Yep. So people didn't learn from the Spanish flu of 1917 that if you just reopen without a cure or a treatment at all.
I think that they did learn. I just think that they want other things more.
They want money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to go back to work and they want to go do things. And
And it's hard to argue to some people on that kind of stuff because people lost their jobs.
Yep.
And they weren't making enough to live off of, especially because the government gave them $1,200. Some people got unemployment, but they're months behind on it. You know, the wait times and
There's
stuff.
a lot of states that just aren't paying it.
Right. I know someone here. He's been trying to get on the phone for the unemployment, and he said it's backed up for so long. He can't be on the phone for 6 hours a day trying to get paid.
Yep.
So
I saw something on the news that people were calling upwards like to 50 to 100 times a day.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So I understand their want for the states to open back up so they can have work.
It's just going to be painful.
Yeah. There's going to be a price to pay for it, consequences for sure.
Yep.
Besides that, my next bit of news is about Ahmaud Arbery. I'm sure you heard about this case.
Oh, yeah.
The jogger.
Yes.
That's terrible.
Yes.
And it took them 2 months to charge these guys.
It's not because they decided to do the right thing. It's just people found out.
Yep. That's awful. And it's awful. It just is. And I found a Facebook page on people who are defending the shooters. I can't believe what
There's
this
just
is.
those people out there, man.
I can't believe what it came to.
Yep.
They're like, well, he attacked the guy with the shotgun. What the fuck you think? What would you do in that situation?
Yeah.
Sit down and take your execution like a man?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. He's just trying to run, you know?
Yep.
So, I went for a run the other day.
Did you?
Yeah. I had to go to a track where we work at just because I don't know if you noticed all the construction in my area.
I did.
I'm not running up and down these dirt roads because they're using it as a detour.
Yeah.
And people are just flying by it.
Like they do.
Right. But instead of having the one guy every now and then fly by it,
right,
you having 10, 20 people fly by it all throughout the day.
Yep.
I'm not bothering.
I wouldn't.
I'm going to die. So, went for a run in a track, and I hate my life for it, but here I am.
Got it done.
So, I know your favorite franchise is Star Wars.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Did you watch the new Star Wars Clone Wars show?
No. I've been told several times that I need to.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Starts off bad when it first came out, and it's for kids when it first comes out.
I've seen a lot of the animated Star Wars
Yep.
stuff, and it is some of the more enjoyable
Well,
content.
they start tailoring to the fans and to the people of our age who grew up with it, for adults and stuff like that. The finale was really good.
I got told by one of the biggest Star Wars junkies I know that if I just watch the last 4 or 5 episodes, I'll be good.
Yeah, I agree. I've been watching it in bed,
Mhm.
and it's basically Order 66,
Yeah.
where Ahsoka was during Order 66, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So everyone wants to know what that was like, and I want the show to just keep going. I know they're done, but show me more of that stuff. Maybe show me where Ahsoka is now.
Well, now that we know that she's going to pop up in Mandalorian.
Yeah, so we can skip ahead to that. I was going to talk about Mandalorian.
Were you?
I was. Boba Fett was, there's rumors. The rumor mill is spinning. Boba Fett was on set for Mandalorian 2,
cool.
season 2. So I thought that was kind of expected. That's who I thought it was.
He didn't get eat by the desert anus.
Well, there's the legends before Disney bought him and got rid of all the books and stuff. He got out.
I know.
Right. So.
All that stuff's dead now, though.
Right, but the Boba Fett thing they could just easily bring it right back.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and their own little Disney twist.
Yeah.
Maybe some birds fluttered to him, picked him up, and got him out of there.
Changed just enough to where they don't get sued.
Right, they let his hair out, and he used his hair to get out, like Tangled or something. Put some Disney flair on it.
Yeah, true love's kiss.
One of Jabba's bodyguards is down there, and he's like, "Give me a kiss, and I can get us out of here."
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. I thought he was in the first season. There's an episode where he walks up to that dead assassin chick, or somebody walks up,
Yeah.
and I think that's Boba Fett, because he also had a tracker, right? Bounty hunter thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's me being wishful thinking
Maybe.
on that. So there's that. Talking about Mandalorian. I'm excited for season 2.
Any rumors on when it's coming out?
No, but if you want, real quick, I can look it up.
It's probably going to be a while.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. And I'm sure with this thing going on, production, the Mandalorian season 2 will release in October 2020.
Wow. That's sooner than I thought.
So not very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about a year from when it came out originally. Less than a year. So I'm excited for that. Our local movie theaters actually open up early July. So that's the plan for that
We'll
one.
see.
Yeah, maybe not.
We'll see if anybody actually goes.
They'll go. They'll go.
Yeah. It's dumb.
Yeah. Do you hear about Adele?
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean that in like a you have to be skinny to look amazing kind of thing.
I refuse to be apologetic about saying somebody who put a lot of effort into their body.
Figure
Yeah.
and their health.
Yeah. She looks amazing.
I applaud her.
Yeah.
And people are shaming her.
It's ridiculous to me.
It is. It's like, wait.
She was pretty before. She's pretty now.
And it's not like she just drastically did it. She's been losing weight for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because she used to be very big.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
And now,
props to her.
Yeah, good for her. I applaud people who get up at 6 a.m. every day and go for runs and eat healthy.
Yep.
I can't do it. I'm just lucky the way I am right now that I haven't gained too much weight.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back there.
And that's the thing is it's so hard to get back there.
Yes.
And so that's why I do my thing, do what I can to maintain it. Because I know if I get to that point, it's hard enough already to lose 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And then now you have to lose 50.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so. Oh, then we put that thing right there in that corner, that spray stuff. You smell that?
No.
You don't have a sense of smell.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Oh, it's like this fruity little lavender thing. Can't stand it. 2 deaths today. Have you read about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Little Richard.
Yep.
Which is
Rock and roll legend.
tragic.
Yep.
And then the second one I don't.
You ever heard of Sigmund and Roy?
Oh, yeah.
Roy died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he the one that was attacked by the tiger years ago?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He died today.
Of
Coronavirus.
COVID-19? Yeah.
He died. He was diagnosed a week ago, and he died today.
That's
So
a bummer.
pretty quick turnaround
Yeah.
on that one. So one of our favorite actors, Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
By favorite actors, I mean I hate the guy. He was in a movie called National Treasure. We actually watched this one together one time. I think we did. Or I came over and you had it on.
Yeah.
And I just like
I think you're right.
begrudgingly looked at it, watched it for
I
a
enjoy
bit.
the first one.
I hate both of them.
It's fine.
They're getting a TV series
Really?
on Disney
With
Plus.
Nicolas Cage?
I don't think so.
Oh.
It's like Lethal Weapon got a TV show, but they didn't bring back Mel Gibson and Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 30 years past retirement.
Too old for this shit.
So I'm not gonna watch it.
I don't think it works without Nick Cage.
Why? It's just.
I don't know. Like.
Also, it's gonna be a TV series, so is it gonna be like a new, a new treasure of the week kind of thing
I don't know.
with an overarching bad guy?
I would just hope that they take the.
Sean Bean's still alive.
I hope they take. Well, they didn't murder him or anything.
He didn't die in that one?
No, he just got arrested.
Okay, is it wrong of me to assume that he died? It's Sean Bean we're talking about.
I hope they take the opportunity to make an 8-hour-long movie, and it's not, 8 episodes or 10 episodes, whatever they decide to make it.
Yeah.
I hope they just take that opportunity to make a really long, drawn-out, story that they can elaborate on.
Okay. Yeah.
Rather than treat it as 8 individual episodes, it's just one overarching storyline.
Okay. I like that. I like that more than anything.
Yes.
The reason I fell off Arrow and The Flash and shows like that is here comes Monster of the Week. And
5 minutes of, continuing storyline with 55 minutes of.
And I had this discussion with someone on Twitter, actually just the other day, because they were talking about Legends of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I actually like that show because the first 2 seasons I watched weren't Monster of the Week.
Yep.
They were a story. They were going from point A to point B and trying to solve a problem. When Flash was the same thing, I guess.
Yep.
But so Flash always had a big baddie.
Yes.
Every season, and then in between all that, he had to fight a new guy.
Yes.
Every week until he got to the big baddie.
That played into the story, like he had to learn lessons so they could defeat the big bad.
And that was the biggest thing that bothered me the most was. This is how you learn you can actually go faster than what you learned last week.
Faster, Barry.
Yeah, faster. And that was every week. And I'm the fastest man alive. And then every season, there's a faster guy beating the shit out of you.
He always says he's the fastest man alive. Usually, he's the slowest person in the whole season.
Right. He just can't do it.
Yes.
So, I don't like the Flash show, the Arrow show.
The first 2 or 3 seasons of Arrow, I really enjoyed. First 2 or 3 seasons of Flash, really enjoyed.
And then they went, hey, we're going to pander to teenagers.
We have no idea what to do anymore.
Exactly. Which is so bizarre because you have characters that have so much source material that you could just follow.
Arrow really went off the deep end.
Yeah, because they started going to the League of Assassins and they started going into like weird conspiracy stuff.
It was just the weird, I hate to sound like a 4chaner.
Yep.
I'm about to. But the Felicity Oliver dynamic.
Oliver!
My wife loves that show because Stephen Amell, who has a relationship to the person in our movie today.
Yes.
He's
cousins.
Ripped. He's ripped.
Yeah.
He's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Robbie Amell is a good-looking guy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they would have gotten the better Amell.
Robbie Amell was also in The Flash.
Yeah, he was
Firestorm.
Yeah.
Yep. So, good-looking man. Should have got Steven for this movie.
Yes.
But we'll talk about that later. Comic-Con is going to be at home now.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're going to try and do like a virtual Comic-Con thing. And I'm sure they'll still make bucos of dollars because they can. San Diego, I'm not talking about Comic-Con, I'm talking about San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes.
The only one that matters, really. Because it got canceled this year because of coronavirus, which is probably the first time I think they said in 40 years it had an issue. And they're just going to keep trucking along thanks to the internet.
Yep.
So I want to see how they're going to do that, which gives me an opportunity now to participate in Comic-Con from here in Kansas versus having to fly to San Diego.
I bet if they do a digital pass purchase or something like that, I bet you it'll be the highest grossing Comic-Con ever.
Of course it would. Because you eliminate the issue for people having to travel to San Diego. Yes. That's the biggest issue with all kinds of conventions like that.
They made it $5.
Right. If you make it to where anyone can participate from anywhere in the world
and get the same experience.
Exactly. People would do it.
Yes.
They'll buy into it. So I'm excited for it, and I will be partaking in it if I get the opportunity.
That's pretty cool.
So You can also.
I could.
We can hold hands.
We might.
This will be your first Comic-Con.
Yes.
Oh.
We should get dressed up.
Woo. The Batman movie. Some news on that. So, I forgot who said this. I'm going to lose my mind right now. I'm looking it up.
InfoWars.
No, I'm not. The actor. It's really good.
Gary Busey.
No. So the new here it is right here. Andy Serkis is playing the new Alfred.
Okay.
In the next I wrote it right here. Why did I not see that? It was at the very end. Andy Serkis is playing Alfred Pennyworth in the new Matt Reeves Batman coming out. You know, one with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
And
we talk about it almost every week.
I'm a big Batman.
No, it's
fan.
okay.
Yep. So I'm just gonna keep repeating it. He said the movie's gonna really focus on the Alfred Bruce Wayne relationship.
Interesting.
So, I mean, if you're gonna get a big name like Andy Serkis, you know, to do it, I don't see why not. But Andy Serkis is making a weird comeback in acting.
He never went anywhere.
No, he never went anywhere, but he was always CGI.
Yeah.
But now he's really starting to show himself and his face and all his stuff. It's just weird.
Yeah, he did a charity reading of The Hobbit the other day. He 12 hours straight.
I was going to talk about that too. Yeah, I read about that today. But
I watched probably 45 minutes of it.
Right. I was going to talk about our trash news of the week, and I was going to talk about Lord of the Rings.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. You ruined my bit.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah, there we are.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. The Andy Serkis thing.
Thank you.
So, that's a long time to do a commentary on.
Yes.
Something. I could do it. I could sit here for 12 hours and explain my biggest thing, you know.
Yeah.
But
it'd be hard to be animated and all that stuff for 12 hours.
He's also professional.
Yes.
I'm not a professional.
I just wish he would have had a microphone like we do because the sound quality was...
Was it terrible?
Yeah.
Oh. That's upsetting. Who hosted the charity thing?
He did.
Oh. Okay.
I think he was just using whatever
he had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Which is what someone played like with a video game or something like that.
Yeah.
A video game headset. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I think he's using like a laptop or something and just using the mic.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
That is very brutal. Remember those days?
Yeah, I do.
With that, I have no other news unless you have anything.
UFC 249 tonight.
That's tonight?
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
I didn't know they were still doing UFC with everything going on.
Yeah, they had a lot of trouble making this one happen.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't watch UFC anymore, but
probably
go home and try
and see it.
Yeah.
Is it going to be free or is it going to do pay-per-view stuff?
No, it's pay-per-view.
Of course.
Now you have to have ESPN Plus, I think, and $65.
What?
Yeah.
Well, ESPN Plus, I think, comes with Disney Plus, doesn't it? Or maybe that's a bundle.
Extra.
Yeah, maybe that's a bundle you have to pay extra for.
I don't care about Hulu or ESPN Plus, so I pay $7.
And I paid for the year, which I think was $70, essentially 2 months free.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and that's probably what I'll do next year. Okay, so you ready to get into our next thing? It's going to be a little talk about our podcast of the week that we're advertising on the Project Entertainment Network.
Who's it this week?
They're called Hash Time with Duncan. So he does sports commentary.
Okay.
So he does things, sports commentary, breakdowns, analysis, etc. This is sports talk. It's for all you listeners who are maybe, scratching your necks like you're addicted, missing out on sports. This guy can provide you some stuff. So he did stuff on this week about, he's in a 3-part thing called The Last Dance right now. He just came out with part 3 on the 6th. And basically goes in depth about a situation with the Cowboys. And he also talks about how Andy Dalton picked up the Cowboys, what it means for Dak Prescott. And, he just talks sports.
Yeah,
so
cool.
I'm all about sports talks. I can listen to sports all day long as I care about it.
As long as it's hockey, I'll listen to it.
Basketball and baseball for me.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I say? Basketball? Football and baseball for me. Basketball is the one I could, take it or leave it.
Yep.
Kind of thing. And hockey, I have to watch it there. Otherwise, I really don't care. I know you're a hockey fan, but if the Bruins aren't in the championship, I don't care unless I'm at a hockey game.
Lucky for you, often enough they are.
That's right. And they lose to the freaking St. Louis
Blues.
Yeah. Ugh, Game 7. That was upsetting. That's going to be a good year for my teams.
You guys got to share.
We'll never share. They don't have an ad yet. They're brand new to the network. So
Okay.
They haven't recorded one yet, so we're just going to talk about them. And I'll put their link down in the description for anyone that wants to go find them.
I'll have to give them a shot this week.
Sweet. So you ready to get into ARC?
I don't think this is going to take long.
No, it's not. That's why we spent so much time on the news. I had to find a lot of news to fill the gap.
Yeah, maybe we'll get stuck in a time loop doing this.
I don't want to do this forever.
I don't either.
So our movie this week was ARQ, ARQ.
Yeah,
So
basically, you picked this one because you knew it was going to piss me off.
exactly. I actually like sci-fi movies, and I didn't care for this one
No,
at all.
because it was the Battletoads version of Edge of Tomorrow.
Yes, it was the low-budget version of that.
Yeah, speaking of budget,
Uh-huh.
$2 million.
I was gonna ask if you looked it up. I didn't yet.
All they needed was a house.
Well, yeah, and that is something I actually liked about it, was that it was a small knit setting.
Yes.
I would have hated this had it been like a search around like a big city
Yes.
or something. So movies, I think some movies benefit from this. Have you seen the Judge Dredd movies?
Not in a while, but yes.
There's just one apartment complex, and and they hint at a bigger world of problems out there.
Yeah.
But you just follow around one cop essentially going through his day.
Yeah.
The day in the life of a cop.
Talk about the Stallone one, right? I am the law.
You can talk about either one of them, the Stallone or the Carl Urban one.
I knew.
Law. That movie's terrible.
Oh yeah.
The second one with Carl Urban is really good.
Yeah.
If you like,
I've
that,
only seen parts of that one.
yeah, I say it's really good, but that's the only
In
comparison to
to the
Stallone
Stallone one.
You betrayed the law.
Law.
So stupid.
Yeah.
It's
It's very watchable though.
yeah,
Like
and it's an 80s flick, 80s or 90s flick, and for that it's watchable.
there's a lot of movies like that I'm sentimental about, and I don't know if I watched them for the first time today if I would feel the same way.
Right,
But a lot of those are terrible, but I don't mind watching them because they're entertaining.
because you've already seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like, I know what this is.
I know what I'm walking into.
Yeah.
There's no surprises.
But if someone came, dude, you gotta watch the Stallone Dread movie. It's awesome. And you turn it on and you watch it for the first time, you're like, what the fuck is this?
It's so bad.
I hate Rocky. Speaking of Stallone, his movies are really hit or miss too.
Yeah.
He really nailed it with the Rockies, the Rambos. Cop Out, was that?
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
That's a terrible one. My mother loves that movie though. Cobra.
Yep.
He
Cobra's a good movie.
Right. He hit some really good movies.
Yep.
And then other movies, your Dreads, your Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Did you hear about Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
What
How he
about
got into that one?
No.
So,
You know what? I might have because my mother loves that movie, but go ahead.
So I'm only like 85% sure on this
Mhm.
one, but I'm pretty sure the story was Arnold Schwarzenegger basically leaked that he really wanted to do that movie.
Yeah.
So Stallone jumped on it and did it.
Just to spite him.
Yeah, but Arnold knew what a turd it was going to be. And so he basically baited Stallone into doing it.
That's pretty funny.
Yep.
Yes. So he did it right here after the studio. Oh, he did it. He did this movie and Rhinestone. You remember that one?
No.
That one is equally as bad. He did both of those. A pressure from the studio executives told him the roles would go to Schwarzenegger if he passed. So he got tricked by Schwarzenegger and the executives.
That's brutal.
Yeah. So I wonder if Schwarzenegger was even going to do them at all, or just the studio executives behind those two movies were like, let's see if this works.
This guy, dude.
Yeah. Ask him. He's like, I don't want to do that shitty movie. They're like, yeah, I guess, but if you don't, we just have to give the role to Schwarzenegger, and
All
up
right,
and
who's
coming
my
star. All right, where do I sign?
When war is in your blood.
We're getting off track
Okay,
from our
sorry, I got
movie.
derailed.
Wait, were you about to do a Stallone impression?
That was my Stallone impression.
Start over.
I've done it several times in this conversation.
I'm not listening. Do
No.
it again.
No, I'm good.
That's messed up. So the plot of this is basically a time loop, right? So if anyone's
Yes.
ever seen Edge of Tomorrow, it's
Like I
essentially
said, this is the Battletoads version.
essentially whenever the main star, starred by Robbie Amell, the cousin of Stephen Amell, who we were talking about earlier in Arrow, whenever he dies, essentially when he dies, the day starts over.
Every
It's
3 hours and 40 minutes or something like that.
So the world is in an energy crisis,
Yes.
and he has this machine that he stole from a corporation which has perpetual motion, which infinite energy.
Supposedly.
Right. And he has prescription medication. And so these people break into his house to steal his prescriptions.
I think those were credits.
Is that what they call scripts?
Yes.
So it's money?
Yes.
Okay. So he has money, and they go to steal his money.
Yes.
That makes more sense.
Because
actually.
they scanned them, and they're
That's
like, oh,
right.
this is $1 million or whatever.
That's right. That makes more sense than what I thought it was. Then.
Yes.
They call them scripts.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't get it if it's an abbreviation for something. Maybe
Right.
I'm just missing it.
Yeah.
But it was money.
Okay. So they want to steal his money. And when they break into his house, he's in bed with this girl. Right?
Yes.
And they touch his machine. One guy does. And he dies.
Yes.
Because it's 20,000 volts. Essentially, him doing so kills the machine. But the machine is still going because it's unlimited energy, but it has fuel cells. And when the fuel cells run out, time starts over.
Yes.
So it causes a
Because
time
it's not
loop.
actually infinite energy.
Right.
He says that in the movie.
Right.
It is, but it isn't.
Exactly.
Depending on whether or not we need it to be.
So basically, it's powered by fuel cells, but it moves so fast it repowers the fuel cells.
Yeah,
So
that's kind
once the fuel cells stop powering it, it stops spinning fast enough to power up the fuel cells.
Sure.
Right. And what happened was it killed the fuel cells.
Yes.
So, they're in a time loop. He wakes up and he has to restart the day, and everything's going the way it was before.
Yes.
And he knows of this because he was the farthest away from the blast of the time loop. So essentially, every day that it starts over, more people are remembering that it's a time loop
Yes.
by their proximity to the machine. So there's 4 robbers, now 3 because one dies touching the machine,
Yes.
which starts the loop. And then there's the 2 protagonists, if you will, Robbie Amell and his star, and the chick that he's in bed with, Hannah.
Yes.
And what was his name? Renton.
Yes.
Such a stupid name.
Not Trenton.
Renton.
Renton.
Yeah. And so Renton and Hannah are in bed when they break through the door and basically kidnap them for their money.
Yes.
How obvious was it that she was in on it?
Very.
Yeah. Right off the bat, she's a part of this thing. And he finds out.
Damn near immediately.
Yeah. Well, because he has a plan to get out.
Yes.
He fails on his plan, and then he
Gets
wakes
murdered.
up. Yeah, he gets murdered. And then he wakes up.
Then he's like, oh.
Okay, now I know what to do again. So now he's like, all right, Hannah, you're in on this, right? You're going to help me. And then when he gets through that.
I don't understand. So early on, she's like betraying him every single loop.
Yep.
But he's just like, no, we're totally good. I'm going to keep going down this road.
So the first time he finds out she betrays him, he calls her out on it the very next loop.
Yes.
It's like, you bitch.
But he's basically cutting her out of her restraints while he's doing it.
Yeah, which is dumb, right?
Yes.
And
because
then
she organized this robbery.
it's a plan.
Yes.
And what else happens? He has her help him again. And at the very end of it, she betrays him again.
Yes.
He dies. The loop starts over.
But now she remembers.
But she's part of it now. She remembers it.
Yes.
And she's like, hey, man, after you died, that wasn't it. Like, more went on. And then I woke up again.
Yes.
And so that's when he was like, maybe it's a timed loop. Because he thought it was whenever he died.
Yes. And somehow the computer's keeping logs of all these time loops.
Because time loops.
Why not?
Right. And then he finds a video of himself,
freaking out.
and he doesn't think anything of it until the second to last loop.
Yes.
Right. Anyway, one of the people robbing them, he wakes up in this time loop and he knows what's going on.
Yes. And he's from some evil corporation that's
Exactly.
taking
He wasn't
over the world.
actually trying to rob the guy. He was trying to steal the machine the entire time.
Yes.
And so now it's the thing about he knows what's going on. And now the robbers know what's going on, or one of them knows what's going on.
Yes.
It's just this weird thing. In the very end, you think they finally beat it. He went through all the steps correctly by the 9th loop or some shit like that.
Yes.
And then he finds out he's been in this loop for thousands of loops, and it resets every 9 loops.
So he's been in it for thousands of times.
Right.
There's a literal boundary around their house.
Yep.
That is a circle. And outside that circle, time moves on as normal.
Yep.
time inside the circle loops.
Yep.
So if they've done it thousands of times at 3 hours and 40 minutes apiece,
Yep.
you would think that the world had progressed beyond their situation.
Right. So that you're absolutely correct on that. They talk about that, how it only was within these boundaries. You can see the boundaries on charred grass or some shit like that. And there's this evil corporation waiting outside.
Yep.
To break in.
And we're not talking like a huge circle. We're talking like
25.
30 feet out of the house.
Right. We're talking like 100 feet.
Yeah. Their property.
Yeah. And there's this evil corporation ready to bust in. You know, they're waiting for the code.
Yep.
The guy gives the code, they bust in every single time.
Yep.
And it's just weird to me that now that you speak about it, they say, well, this boundary of where the time loop is.
Yep.
Yeah. That's weird, right? So you can say it starts off every 3 hours and he has to go through that same thing again. But for thousands of times, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense.
I don't understand what the boundary is supposed to be about.
Right. If they got rid of the boundary part, it all makes sense.
Yep.
If you try to say the word was always looping,
yes,
it would make sense, but it doesn't because you fucked up, and it doesn't.
Bingo.
Yeah. The movie studio fucked this one up. Trying to go too logical on it, they made a logical and fallacy with their own logic.
It's just boring.
Illogical
It was
fallacy.
just a boring movie.
Yeah, and it was. But at the very end, they make a video to warn themselves.
Yes.
That way, early on
Which
in the
is
loops,
what the previous video he saw was trying to do, but they got cut off.
Yep. But this time they got it. They got the video made. That way when he wakes up in 3 loops, right?
Was there any significance to her waking up first on the last one?
That's what I was about to say.
I don't get it.
So now you think, all right, it's going to restart over, and he's going to catch it and is going to save the day, essentially, right, and survive. But this time, instead of him waking up first, which is how the movie started.
Yes.
So the movie doesn't ease you into this. This is the movie.
Yep.
Your 9 loops is what you get in this movie. This time, she wakes up in the start of the sequence.
In the roll credits.
Roll credits.
They didn't allude to anything.
Nope. Nothing was
different.
Yeah, just...
She woke up first.
You know what? ARQ 2. Except this movie came out 4 years ago, and it's definitely not going to get a sequel at this point.
No.
So, but you think of a $2 million budget, they definitely made their money back.
Oh, I'm sure.
So,
just more incentive to keep making bad movies.
Yeah. Whatever. This movie sucked.
It did.
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow, though, incredible movie.
Yeah. Emily Blunt, Tom Cruise, the same premise, except whenever he dies, it starts over, and it starts over, and it starts over, and he does it thousands to millions of times until he gets it right.
Yep.
And then at one point he loses that ability, and he has his one last chance to get it right, and he does, and the world's a happy place.
Yes, it was an amazing movie.
I recommend it to anyone who wants to watch a movie just like this, but better.
Yeah, if you want to watch the good version. The actual Ninja Turtles version.
Yeah. This is terrible. Yes. I wouldn't watch ARQ ever again.
At least it was only an hour and a half.
Naomi came in at one point when Hannah got shot in the head.
Yes.
And then came back in like 10 minutes later and went, wait, why is she alive again? And I'm like, I'm not explaining this to you. Just sit down. You'll find out in 5 minutes what the fuck's going on. But I don't care for this movie. The thing I liked most, I already talked about, was the small setting. It didn't make this movie more grandiose than what it really was.
I think the part that really slowed down the movie was him trying to include everyone on the process every single time.
Every time he woke up, he's like, hey, you got to help us out.
We've done this before. We're stuck in a time loop.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And it's just the one baddie who kills them before they even have a chance to do anything because he's in on it from the second it happens. But this time, he stopped the guy from dying. Remember that time when he stopped the guy from dying?
Which time?
The guy that touches it. Cuz. Right? He stops him because he's also in on it now.
Yes.
Because he was in on it from the beginning, robbing for the machine. There's 4 robbers, right? There's Cuz, Sonny, Father, and Brother. Sonny and Cuz, they're there to steal the machine. They work for the corporation.
Yep.
The other 2 work for the rebellion, and they're there to steal money.
Yes.
and they all think they're all there for the rebellion.
Yes.
Right? It's a double cross. But Cuz accidentally touches the machine and kills himself.
Which starts the loop.
Yeah. But at one point, Sonny pulls him away before he does it. Because remember, Cuz is alive.
Yep.
There shouldn't have been a loop anymore.
So I think it's one of those weird things where...
Time paradox.
Yeah. So there couldn't not be a loop
Mm-hmm.
because there was a loop.
It's either all a joke or none of it is. Like Hulk says in Endgame.
Yes.
Yeah. So there we are. Time travel doesn't work in this instance.
Yeah.
And-
So they had jumped into the loop already,
Yeah.
and then the loop changed.
Yeah.
But it didn't affect the fact that it was still a loop.
It's still a loop.
Yeah.
Time travel.
Yay.
Fuck this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think anything could have really made this movie better. The movie is what it is, and it knows that. You're watching one sequence of the 9 sequences of time loops.
Even if you were out of stuff to watch on Netflix, I still wouldn't watch this movie.
Right. I actually watched another movie with Robbie
Amell.
last night.
What was it?
Code 8.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later. It's in my movies of the week thing. I gave this movie like a 3.
Yeah, it wasn't as much of a train wreck as some of the other stuff we watched.
Right. It's just one of those things like I wouldn't recommend this to someone. There's better movies that try and do this exact same premise.
I want $2 million movies to be good.
Yeah. They're not.
Sometimes they are.
They're District 9s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They're chappies.
I wish this would have been good.
Mm-hmm. And those movies all had the same feel.
Yeah.
Like the same cinematography and the same color scheme.
There's probably only so much you can do.
Exactly. But this movie just didn't do a good job of it.
No.
And it's not like they had a cast anyway. Nothing you could... Ooh, shit, burping. Nothing you could really do with this kind of movie.
Nope.
So, all right. Ready to move on?
Sure.
All right. So, I watched a few movies this week. I watched Quantum, Skyfall, because I love James Bond.
Yep.
I'm currently doing the James Bond 30-day challenge. Today was day 5.
Nice.
My favorite Pierce Brosnan moment. And I think it's when he jumps off the dam. It's your first introduction to him as James Bond. And it's kind of cool.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Or when he breaks out of Korea.
Yeah. I watched Die Another Day. Or...
Yeah.
Is that the right...
That's the one of...
the last one?
The Halle Berry. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched it. It's fine.
Yeah. It's Diamond Face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What a stupid villain, but here we are.
Yeah.
I watched Skyfall. I like that one.
Skyfall's a perfect movie.
Yeah. Dr. No, the very first James Bond movie ever.
Okay.
Not very good. It doesn't hold up to the other ones, but I like all the Sean Connery Bond movies.
I do as well.
The Sean Connery Bond movies, you know what you're getting
I
yourself
bought the
into.
collection on Black Friday a couple years back.
I got my collection right in that
Nice.
little bin right there. So, I watched Code 8, which is what I was just talking about earlier. So, it's Robbie Amell and Stephen Amell.
Okay.
They're both in it. So, essentially, do you know how society treats illegal immigrants?
Okay.
Think of that, but they're superheroes.
Oh.
So, these are people with abilities who back in the day were useful because they could be electricians, strength, telekinesis, whatever. But now, thanks to automation, they're not useful anymore because now machines can do all the work for you, right? But now people hate them and don't want them in their country. You have to get registered, and there's machines flying around to keep them at bay, and
Interesting.
it's really not. It's one of those movies again, and there's this drug called Psych, and it's basically they take spinal fluid from the specials, and you snort it or something, and it gives you a really good high. But basically you just see how people hate. I think they're called specials.
Okay.
People with abilities.
It was a train wreck too.
Yeah, you got the feel they don't like Mexicans, is what you got. Like it was like that parallel.
Yeah.
But for some reason, people with powers, and I couldn't get behind it because I was like, that would never happen.
Yeah.
Because one, people with powers would rule over normal people
Yes.
any day of the week.
Go all Palpatine on somebody.
This guy has electrical powers, and you're gonna try and tell me the old Joe over here is gonna tell him what to do? it wouldn't happen that
Yeah.
way. They can't find jobs, and it was stupid. But I watched it, hour and a half. I watched the Dave Chappelle stand-up, the Sticks and Stones one. I love Dave Chappelle.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, and he has some. He's just a funny guy. And I've been watching all the Joe Rogan podcasts. So, what about you?
I watched Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Yikes.
What?
Yep.
Wait, of all the Indiana Jones movies, you chose that one?
This week.
Okay.
It's not saying that, in the last
But why,
3 or 4 months,
Why that one?
Tina picked it, and it was
Okay.
just on.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was just noise, but
Yep.
it's so bad.
It's bad noise.
Oh, yeah.
It's like white noise in the background.
I watched the entire Waco series on Netflix.
Was that any good?
Yeah, it's really good.
That's the one about the Jim Jones stuff, right?
No, that's this one is David Koresh down in Texas.
Was that not the Jim Jones stuff?
No.
No, okay. But it's essentially the same thing, right? Like the cult locks himself in the
exactly.
building. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I started watching The Theory of Everything.
What is that?
That's the one about Stephen Hawking.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then I watched The Interview because we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
I stopped watching Community.
You finished season 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I started season 5,
And
it's just
they go back to the college, and there's no reason for it, and they all have...
And there's only like 13 episodes in season 4, so I don't know
Right.
why it got cut short. But
Because people were losing interest,
yeah, it's
and with good reason. 5 and 6, they get rid of some of the characters and try and bring in other ones,
okay.
and it's just not
So
done.
I didn't make the like
No, you didn't.
good.
I stuck through all 6 seasons, because at one point, NBC makes the show, right? They're the ones that originally make it.
Yeah.
And they drop it.
Okay.
And Yahoo picks it up for season 6, and there's definitely a change in, how the show is done. But it starts to become Jeff just trying to find out what he's going to do for the rest of his life, and he can't leave the school. Like, he has this complex, and he's in love, and he falls in love with Andy at one point, and then Britta at another point, and then somebody else, and who gives a shit.
Sounds like I'm good.
Yeah, Donald Glover left the show because he became a real actor
Yeah.
and did other stuff. So
And then Social Network.
the Facebook one,
Yep.
Jesse Eisenberg,
Yeah, that is a really good movie.
probably one of the only Jesse Eisenberg things I actually like.
Yes.
I don't care for Zombieland.
We talked about it a few weeks ago. That one, it's written by Aaron Sorkin.
Yep.
Directed by Fincher.
Yep.
And the score was done by what's the guy's name from?
Tell me a movie. Tell me a movie. Now got it.
No, it's a band.
Oh,
I'm gonna sound so stupid. Talk for a second.
I don't know what to say. I'm waiting for you to sound stupid.
Trent Reznor. I didn't even get it Googled.
Oh, you just
Yeah.
figured it out. Good stuff. I like that movie a lot too. Makes Mark Zuckerberg actual emotional human. With,
Yeah. Trent Reznor's the singer for 9 Inch Nails.
I used to listen to a lot of 9 Inch Nails in my angsty teen days. The
He's been doing this
Black Pants, heavy metal days.
He's been doing a lot of movie soundtracks, and he does a really good job.
Nice. Did he do the Daredevil soundtrack from back in the day?
I have no idea. Probably not.
Back when everyone was doing like Evanescence and Nickelback and
That
all
was
that.
Elektra, not Daredevil.
Whatever. Both those movies were equally terrible.
They were.
So, I don't know. Speaking of shows like that, we talked about Flash earlier, Monster of the Week. You hear that?
I did.
That's the smell I'm smelling. But
Did you hear that smell I'm smelling?
that you heard the machine go off.
I did.
It sprays a thing.
Yes.
I
I'm
smell
familiar
it.
with how an air freshener works.
Air freshener.
I may not have a
That's
sense
the
of
thing.
smell.
You can't smell, but you're hearing what I'm smelling.
Okay.
So we're on the same page now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were never not on the same
I
page.
thought we were for a second.
Okay.
I just don't think you were understanding it. That thing makes smells. Okay. You got it. I'm glad to have taught you how this air freshener works.
Yeah.
What was I talking about? Flash. Monster of the Week stuff. When we made Daredevil, they weren't doing Monster of the Week essentially. They had an overarching story.
Yes.
But what I started to hate about it was they started breaking it up into 2 different stories each season. So they had the first half of the season be Punisher and the second half be Elektra.
The season after that, I didn't watch at all.
Right.
Because
that's what they were doing at that point. They were breaking it up into smaller sub-stories.
Yeah. The Punisher season was miserable to get through.
Right. The Punisher segment or the whole season?
The whole season.
Okay. Because you just wanted there to be Punisher. And there just wasn't.
They were already slated to come out with a Punisher show.
Right.
I just didn't understand why we were dedicating so much of Daredevil to it.
Yeah. And they didn't even give any Daredevil's big villains except for Fisk and Elektra.
Yeah.
And did they even do Bullseye? I think they showed him.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're missing out on opportunities. But whatever. Who am I to judge? I got nothing else for this week. Do you?
What did you think about doing Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
Oh, yeah. Next week's movie. Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Have you seen that one?
No. I don't know what it's about.
It's supposed to be really good.
Okay. So we're going to do a good movie?
We are.
Sweet.
Doesn't mean we can't shit on it.
I will shit on it. But I'm down for that. I saw some of the cast members in it, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
So, yeah.
It'll be nice to do a good movie for
once.
once.
When you said that to me, I'm like, Buster Scrubs? I was like,
Scruggs.
Scruggs, yes. I was like, is this a Buster Rhymes movie or something? I didn't know what to expect. And I think I've heard of this movie once before.
It was on the banner for Netflix forever.
Right. So that's probably where I heard about it.
Yep.
But I don't know much more about it. It looks like a Western.
I think so. It's done by the Coen brothers.
So probably Western-esque.
Yeah.
So I'm down. So we'll do that next week. Next week is the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yes.
That's gonna be hard for me to say. Thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode. If you'd like to leave a like, follow, sub, or dislike, that helps spread the good word. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Rec Critics Pod. If you want to support the show, you can follow the link in our description to our Anchor listener support. All donations will go to the show, whether that be equipment or improving the studio. And me and James be tied to you in a life debt that we'll never pay it back, right?
Never.
I'm not paying back anybody. That's really it. If you want to reach us via email, we have an email at recreationalcritics@gmail.com. We want to hear from you guys. Let us know how we rock or we suck. We are open books and we'd love to interact more with you.
Jimbo out.
Jimbo's out. See you next time, critics.
Bye, guys.
This has been a presentation of the Project Entertainment Network.